I want you to think about something with me for a second. It's the end of the financial year, and if you're like most agents, you're probably doing what most agents do around this time. You're looking back at the last 12 months and thinking about the next 12. And I think there's a question worth asking yourself honestly. If you do the next 12 months exactly the same way you did the last 12, where does that leave you this time next year? Not in a doom and gloom way. I'm not here to tell you the sky's falling in any way, shape or form. But I do think there's something most agents don't think about. And it's not really about what you're doing. It's about what's quietly happening while you're not doing anything at all. I'm Clint, and this is Creativity That Converts, the show where we unpack the art and strategy of using video to grow your business. This is the space to learn what's working, what's changing, and how to create content that really connects. No fluff, no ego, just real talk that gets results. Welcome to Creativity That Converts. And here's what I mean. Most agents think about marketing in terms of effort. How much time am I spending on this? How much am I posting? Am I keeping up with everyone else? And if that's how you're measuring it, then standing still feels like, well, standing still. Nothing's really changed. You're not behind. You're just where you were. But that's not actually what's happening. Because while you're standing still, the market isn't. Not because you did anything wrong, just because that's how time works. It moves either way. Some agents are using it to build something, and if you're not, the gap between you and them just keeps growing quietly in the background, whether you're thinking about it or not. So here's where I want to take this, because I think most agents massively overestimate what it takes to close that gap and massively underestimate what it actually does for you once it's there. Here's what I mean by that. We work with agents to film 2 days of content. 2 days. And from that, they walk away with a year's worth of videos. 52 of them to be precise. Now, I know what that might sound like. 2 days, 52 videos. It sounds like a lot of content for not much time. And it is. But that's actually not the interesting part. The interesting part is what happens after. Let me give you an example of what I mean. And I want you to really sit with this one because I think it changes how you think about video libraries and what they actually do. Imagine your area has a higher than average divorce rate. A lot of areas do recently. Now, somewhere in your market right now, there's somebody that's going through that. And at some point, maybe not today, maybe not even this month, but at some point, they're going to sit down and search for something. Something like selling my home when I'm getting divorced. Now think about what happens if your video comes up. Not an ad, not something you posted yesterday hoping that the algorithm would pick it up. A video series you filmed over a year ago, sitting there waiting. And this person who's going through something genuinely difficult, something emotional, something they probably don't fully understand the process for, clicks on your video. And there you are, walking them through it. Calmly, clearly, answering the questions they didn't even know they had yet. They watch it, and then maybe they watch another one, and another. And by the time they're ready to actually talk to someone, they already feel like they know you. You weren't there. You didn't make a phone call. You didn't even know this person existed. But your content did the work, quietly in the background, for over a year. And that's the part I think gets missed. When people think about a year's worth of content, they think about the output. 52 videos, that's the number. But the number isn't really the point. The point is the range. Because it's not just divorce. It's deceased estates. It's downsizing. It's relocating for work. It's the first home buyers. It's people who haven't sold in 20 years and don't even know where to start. All of those situations, they're happening in your market right now to real people. And at some point, those people are going to search for help. And the question is just, when they do, are you there? So let's bring this back to where we started. End of financial year. Looking at the next 12 months. If you do 2 days now, just 2 days, that's it. Here's what's different in 12 months' time. You've got a year's worth of content that's been quietly working the entire time. People have found you through searches you didn't even know were happening. Some of them have been watching for months, learning how you think, getting comfortable with you, without you doing anything. And the agent who didn't do those 2 days, well, they're exactly where they are today. Same spot, just 12 months later. Not because anything went wrong for them, just because that's what happens when time passes and nothing fills it. 2 days, that's the gap between those two outcomes. So here's what I'd ask you to do. If you're not sure where you actually stand right now, whether your content is doing any of this for you, or whether there's a gap sitting there that's just going to get bigger, there's a simple way to find out. We built a scorecard for exactly this. It takes a few minutes and I'll show you clearly where things stand. You'll find the link in the show notes, or head on over to myvideoproducer.com.au/links, and there's a whole bunch of stuff there for you. Have a look, because the agents who'll be a year ahead from now, they're the ones who took the 2 days. Everyone else will just be having another year.